Okay, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to kind of just bring the camera along, but what I do know I'm doing is training chest, shoulders and triceps at paddle. So there's going to be a snippet of that, of course, at the workout. And other than that, just kind of what I get up to throughout the day. It is a work day, of course, so I've got work and then of course any sort of food that I'm eating as well. I'll be running you through that, but first of all I'm going to have a shower up here on the terrace. Let's go. Okay, so main reason I have a shower in the morning, as you can imagine, it's kind of a cold shower. Isn't for any big reason in particular, it wakes me up. It gives me like a shock, gets me going. Today, of course, for the first time in ages, it's decided to be cloudy. So usually the sun's beating down on the terrace, so it's pretty much easy. It's quite nice to have a cold shower, but a little bit cloudy today, so it was a little bit colder. But yeah, that's woken me up. I'm now gonna have a coffee, which will wake me up even more, and obviously I will run you through what I'm eating as well, and I'll just bring the camera along and we'll see. I don't have a big plan, but just kind of run with it. So yeah, enjoy the video. Alright, time for coffee. So one pod. Something you need to get if you're not already is a milk frother. I think this one was like 15-20 quid off Amazon, but look what it does. So I'm going to show you the amount of milk that I'm going to put in this and how much volume I'm going to get. So not much at all. Put it on and I'll show you how much it increases the volume of milk. Another must for me are these flavor drops from Bulk. So it's stevia, no artificial sweeteners, vanilla flavored. And I go for like 3 or 4 drops in my coffee. Right, so you got coffee here, and then this is what the milk looks like. So when I put the milk in, I kid you not, about half the amount. Now you'll see how much I've got from it. So you've got a little bit of liquid and then the rest is just foam. Which makes it really, really nice. I'm gonna be out here for 2 minutes. That's still really hot. Have this coffee and then we're gonna get started with work right away, first thing. So I'm gonna get into client check-ins, which means that since I'm an hour ahead of UK clients, they're gonna be getting their feedback pretty quick, which is what I've really enjoyed doing while I've moved here. It's just getting up first thing, getting everything done as I usually would, but it just means that being here in Spain, I've got 1 hour, I'm 1 hour ahead of everyone in the UK, so it works really well. So gonna have this quickly and then get into client check-ins. Thank you for your check-in this week. Hope all is well your side, man. We've only just scratched the surface, I think, with your physique. I think there's a lot more to be achieved. How weekend, you said you've got a rowing machine, so that should be perfect to get to your cardio goals. And then next week when we do reverse, I might put together a bit of a skeleton plan, a bit of a roadmap for you to kind of visually see what we're going to be doing week upon week. Any questions, anything you need throughout the week, man, just WhatsApp me. As I said, that's what I'm there for. And that's it. We'll catch up next week. Well done. Alright, this next segment is a big one for me. It's a food shop, so if you like me and you absolutely love doing a food shop, stick around. If not, then you can skip. Look at these people waiting outside the shop before it's even opened. I don't understand why people do that. Anyway, Mercadona is the shop of choice, and here we can see a whole bunch of lovely stuff that I unfortunately didn't buy. It's just one of those things, isn't it? You're going to see in a second, they've got like a sushi counter. There it is, and it's one of those things that whenever you go in the shop and you see sushi made, you're like, right, I'm gonna get that one day, and you never do. Here we've got egg whites with people doing a plank on the bottle for some reason, because fitness. The protein aisle, and then of course the 0-calorie drinks aisle, which is a huge one, especially on a cut. Now, fruit and veg, of course, has got to be taken into account, but the main thing I'm looking at here is, you'll see it in a second as well, how these peaches have been lined up. So shout out to whichever worker did this. Crisps fried egg flavor. And I didn't actually get them, but I will at some point. Staples, of course, we're going to have our wraps. Frozen veg section, obviously opting for the broccoli, which you see in a lot of my meals. And of course, dark chocolate to go along. Just a snack throughout the day for one of my fat sources. Post-workout Cocoa Pops. And then look at this, oh my God, the protein section. Look how many protein puddings, protein yogurts, protein mousses there are. Literally a massive shout out to the motherland, Spain, for providing so many different protein desserts. Look at this, man. Incredible. But that's it. That wraps up the shop. I'm going to show you what I got. Alright, so check-in's completed. Food shop completed as well. Very productive morning so far. I'm going to show you a bit of what I've got. Then I'm going to eat and then head to the gym. But first of all, a few bits. So we've got our dark chocolates, eggs for the morning, post-workout cereal, some protein mousses. These are so good. 20 grams of protein for 152 calories, but they taste absolutely incredible. Of course, the proteins, we've got chicken breast, turkey sausages for the morning as well, with the eggs, which I'm going to eat now. We've got some bread, some toast for the morning, tacos, chocolate covered rice cakes, tuna, and of course the micronutrients, which you cannot forget. And then a massive diet hack. I mean, this, all I'll say again, I said this in another video, but if you know, you know. Absolutely top tier, god level drink. And of course your standard Coke with no sugars and no caffeine either. Right, that's that. I'm going to show you breakfast now, which as I said is eggs, turkey sausages, and either bread or tacos, depends what I feel like. I'm starving, let's go. Alright, so back on the roof terrace now for meal one. I've got a microphone on because even though I'm from Spain, I forgot how much they love a lawnmower and leaf blower and everything. So hopefully you're picking me up with the sound. But we've got a very nice first meal. So got 2 eggs, 2 tacos, and we've got 3 turkey sausages. And then to go along with that, we've got some kiwi. Number 1 because I like it, and number 2 because it actually has an enzyme that helps to break down and digest protein effectively. So that's why I have that in the mornings. Set me up nicely for the day. So sauces of choice are going to be standard ketchup and then some sriracha as well. Right, let's get into it. These are so good, by the way. Alright, back upstairs for lunch, so I'm going to show you what that is now. I've just set up 2 new starters onto the team, so really great to see clients coming on board the service even in summer, where it can kind of be easy to lose sight of your fitness goals. So it's good to see that they are on board and they're ready to get started on their fitness goals, which is sick. So for my lunch, chicken and broccoli. So the carb source is actually bulgur wheat, which if you don't know what it is, Google it. You'll be impressed. It's basically a grain, so you get a lot of volume for the calories and carbs that are in it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Might not look very appetizing, but trust me when I say it is. And then sauces of choice, I've got 3. So we've got ketchup, then we've got some light mayo, and then we've also got some sriracha to go over the top. 3 sauces in one, I know. Okay, so now we're into the workout section of this video. Got a full push day here for you today, so targeting chest, shoulders, and triceps. I'm doing a voiceover again, as you can tell. Full push workout is on the screen, by the way. But let me know if you do prefer these voiceovers. I did one of these in one of my previous videos. I just feel it's a little bit less chaotic than being in the gym with loads of music in the background and noise. I feel I can kind of get a few more pointers across a little bit easier. So on here, on the seated chest press, flat press, I did start out with a pec deck, of course, just to kind of get some blood into the muscle and get warm for these next movements. So as I said, starting off with a flat press at the moment, kind of going decently heavy for the first 2 warm-up sets. I'm leaving about 1 or 2 reps in reserve, and then of course as we head into these working sets that you can see on screen, I'm really looking to push to absolute failure and get as much out of the movement as I can. So in terms of positioning, want to make sure that your elbows and your wrists are in line. In
terms of the line of force, then of course being a position where you're getting a good contraction through the pec rather than being too high or too low on the seat pad. So my actual setup at the moment is seeing around 10,000 steps daily, which is pretty difficult in this heat, to be honest. And I've also got 20 minutes of cardio 3 times per week just to kind of keep things moving in that sense, and of course help with blood glucose management too, which isn't too bad at the moment. Just kind of put YouTube on and get it done. But either way, now we're on to the next movement, which is an incline Smith press. I put this back into the plan now. It's feeling heavy, I'll be honest. It's one of those that once you stop doing it for a bit, it starts to actually get a little bit heavy. It's kind of hard to work up on. So I'm going to work on this quite hard, which is why I put it towards the beginning of my workout, just to kind of help with that entire top shelf of the chest. Something I see with this movement as well is when I do really start to perform it consistently, and I've got it in my split for a prolonged period of time, I get very, very good at it. So at the moment, as I am on lower calories, naturally, I'm not lifting that heavy, but as I head into a bit of an off season in the next coming months, it's going to be a movement that I'm going to look to really work up to. So I'm looking forward to that. In terms of calories that I'm currently consuming, they're at 2,300 calories on a training day and around 2,000 on a rest day, so slightly lower. And I think they're doing the trick. So the plan for my training as well is to take a deload week next week. So I'm actually heading back home to see family, and I will be utilizing that as a week to take fully off the weights, fully off training, since I've been training pretty much back to back for this the entirety of this year. So it's going to be good to kind of have a bit of a rest. Right, now on to the second flat press of the session. I did used to love this machine, but for some reason in this gym, they've actually added a little platform to the bottom of the legs on it. So it means you can't actually get fully lengthened at the bottom of the rep, and you can't actually get a full stretch. So I'm going to be subbing it out for something else at some point, but for the purpose of this video, I just kind of ran with it. And it did the job. Again, not getting the full range of motion, but still, whenever you find something like this where you're not able to get too lengthened at the bottom of the rep, just ensure that you absolutely max out on that shorten range at the top and you get a really good squeeze to ensure that you're challenging the shorter part of the rep instead. And of course, flat presses are always going to be good to target pretty much the entirety of the pec with a bit more focus on the lower part of the pec. So next up, we're into lateral raises. I chose to use the machine on this one, the standing one. I actually hate personally the way that it's set up if you try to do your both arms at the same time. So as you can see here, I've taken it upon myself to just do a single arm. I keep myself in place by obviously using my non-working arm to just hold on to the machine there, and then of course aim to get a good squeeze at the top of the rep. As I said, I absolutely hate the angle and the way it kind of positions your wrists when you try to do both arms at one time, so I just opted for the one arm on this one. Frequency of hitting lateral delts at the moment is literally just once on my push days, and then I've actually looked to implement a shoulder and arms day towards the back end of each week, just to kind of get a bit more volume through it, since it's part of my physique that I want to be bringing up, especially because of upcoming goals for my physique. The lateral delt is something that I really do want to develop to get that look. And finally, finishing up with tricep rope extensions, a staple which I use in pretty much every single one of my push workouts. I've got pretty well developed triceps, so I don't feel the need to hit them that much. So I just add one movement to my push days, and of course I target them a little bit more on my shoulder and arms day. So super simple here, aiming for around 3 sets total. As you can see there, utilizing partials at the end just to get a good squeeze. I'm just kind of heading for failure on 2 of those 3 sets. Of course, the first set I'm going to just use to get my joints a little bit warmer. Although at the end of this push workout, my joints are pretty warm, my elbows should be fine, and I should be good to kind of perform to a good standard. So yeah, as I said, aiming for around usually 10 to 12 reps, sometimes upwards of that, close to 15 since it is an isolation movement. It's a smaller muscle, so I'm able to kind of get away with utilizing a few more reps on this exercise. Super simple, heading to failure and trying to get the absolute most out of every single exercise. So I hope you enjoyed that workout, and let me know if you do prefer the voiceovers. And now we're gonna head into some post-workout food.
Alright, pushed it, just wrapped up. Now sat down in the restaurant and I've just ordered some food, so I'm going to show you what that is. A post-workout meal. Don't film me, okay? Fridays. Oh yeah, it's a Friday, by the way. What do you do with your Fridays? So this weekend, gonna aim to keep it fairly clean. I've been having one to two off-plan meals, cheat meals a weekend at the minute, which I've managed fine, but I am flying back home to Mallorca next week. So I want to be looking good for that, and then that's going to be kind of the last trip for summer. And then after that, there's some really exciting news for my physique journey. And not just like, oh, I'm gonna bulk, it's big. So stay tuned for me revealing what my physique goals are pretty soon. I'm so hungry. Alright, it's gone for a standard post-workout, what I'd probably eat if I was at home, so. Obviously chicken breast and rice. We have got some sweet potato fries over there. But whatever, never killed anyone.